Hello, and welcome to Unboxing Your Wonders 2023 Samples. My name is Brandon Harvey, and I'll be your guide through this video. And I want to welcome our friends that might teach 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade to this video. 2nd through 5th grade have similar resources in their box, so this is one video for your grade level. And you might want to go ahead and pull your box as you're watching this video to go through it with me. Now, once you pull the box out of the brown shipper, or somebody might have already done that for you, you can just simply take this little flap, lift it up, and slide it down the back. It gives a nice little header, so you know that we're looking at Wonders Grade 3 for this example. You might even see some shipping materials or paper. You can pull that out. It just keeps things nice and neat during shipping process. Now, everything in your sample box is organized into 2 categories. One side are your teacher resources and materials, and the other side are your student resources and materials. And I also want to guide your eye down here to the very front of the box. It says, Explore the Box. And what it gives you are some visual pictures of some key resources for both the student and teacher, but it gives you just a quick summary right here on the front of the box of what it is and what it can do to benefit you and or your students in the classroom. Now, not only do we want you to evaluate Wonders in print, we know how important digital is as well. And everything in Wonders is print and digital. So you will see down here at the very bottom of the box a URL that you can go to. You can sign up for a free digital trial and evaluate things digitally as well. There's even a QR code. You can scan your phone. It'll take you right there to that site to get that digital demo access. All right, so let's go ahead and begin exploring the physical materials that are here in my 3rd grade box. And again, these will be very similar to the materials in grades 2 through 5. So it begins over here with my teacher edition. Now, each grade level is going to have a particular unit. In 3rd grade here, this is Unit 4. And in 2nd through 5th grade, everything is organized into 6 units, right? With multiple text sets within the unit. And what's really interesting too is that allows our 2nd through 5th grade students to go a little deeper, right? As they're reading those rich, authentic anchor texts that are more complex. So a 10-day lesson plan. So weeks 1 and 2 would be text set 1. And then you're going to see weeks 3 and 4 is text set 2. And then week 5 at all those grade levels will be a 1-week text set because it's either focused on poetry or a Time for Kids informational article. Also want to let you know that everything in your box is sort of centered around one particular text set within the unit. So here in 3rd grade, we're going to be looking and focusing on materials that support Unit 4, text set 2. So you'll have the leveled readers, the practice pages, the assessments, all of those things that really give you an example of all the things you would use within a particular text set. Now, I want to turn my teacher's edition sideways and also point out you have some tabs. First of all, you're going to see the blue tab is building knowledge through reading instruction, right? There's your whole group and small group reading instruction. The green tab is for writing. This is how we communicate effectively and having that language arts opportunity for grammar and for spelling. So everything you need for that unit right there behind the green tab. And then this red tab right here is all about extend, connect, and assess. So making connections to science and social studies, having that spiral review built in what would essentially be week 6, so that last week of the unit. And of course, if you want to explore other particular units of the teacher instruction, again, you want to log on, get that digital demo access code. All right, I'm going to pull a few more things here out of the teacher side of the box. And oh, this is my favorite thing, I think, in the box. This is your instructional routine handbook, right? So everything in that teacher guide that we just looked at, right, for reading, for writing, whole group and small group instruction is research-based, grounded in the science of reading. The instructional routine handbook gives you that research base into effective classroom practices. Really is how we bring that instruction to life. So you'll see routines for how to find and cite text evidence, or routines for phonemic awareness or sound-by-sound blending for phonics, as well as routines for writing and grammar. So this is a K-5 book and you will see things that definitely relate to the instruction that's in your particular grade level. A must read. Now, let's go and take a look. We talked about small groups, right? So you have small group instruction, but one of the things Wonders does that's unique is provides this standalone kind of separate ELL small group guide. And this is, I like the fact that it's here because it's flexible enough for push in or pull out teaching. But what this guide does is take every core text in the text set that's covered in those 2 weeks, right? And gives you an EL strategies for every single one of those texts, an EL lesson plan. And it's written at 3 stages of language acquisition. And not only for reading, remember those extended genre process writing opportunities that are behind the green tab? Well, this has EL lesson plans for those extended writing. So yes, whole group, there are EL scaffolds within your teacher guide. This gives you more explicit support as you pull those specific small groups. Now, another group of multi-language learners you might have is a newcomer. And so for those students with very limited English, this is a grade 3 through grade 5 book, so it's a grade level span. And this newcomer teacher guide not only provides you the lesson plans, but there are lesson cards, and online there are even newcomer games and visuals. So that's really giving those students with limited English opportunities to access high utility vocabulary and language for survival when they don't have a lot of English skills behind them. Now, I'm going to pull out a few other things here on this teacher side. Of course, my assessment sampler. Now, remember, in my 3rd grade box, I told you you're going to see all the tools needed to support Unit 4, Text Set 2, and that is what you're going to see here. You're going to see a progress monitoring assessment for those two, that 2nd text set. You will see the entire Unit 4 unit level assessment, as well as an example of our benchmark assessments. But you might want to see the full range and all the variety of assessments that we provide. That's where you're going to want to log on and get that digital access as well. But definitely shows you, gives you some good information about what we're providing for you and your students with assessments. They can do them pencil paper, or of course we have an online assessment center as well that will even grade it for you and imports that data into our online data dashboard. Now, behind that, in the rest, you're going to see some informational tools here. One is, of course, your program overview. Might even be a first read before exploring the whole box. Gives you a high-level overview of the Wonders curriculum. And Wonders is built on efficacy. And this efficacy and success brochure details not only testimonials, but district-level data, as well as third-party evaluations of the Wonders curriculum. So a lot of good data built into this brochure. We just talked about the unique tools and resources for English language learners. Well, here it details it all in one place. Everything we provide online, in print, whole group, small group, EL resources here in my EL guide. And then lastly, you're going to see for your grade level, this is my grade 3 classroom resources. So there are a lot of hands-on cards and manipulatives that we use to make this instruction so exciting and motivating for students. And so you're going to see some of these tools in, of course, a reduced size right here as a sample. So one of those is our unique center activity cards. Blue is for reading, and I love the fact that the front of the center activity card is an anchor chart, a ready-made anchor chart that I could project if I wanted to, or use either a whole group or small group. And then on the back of each center activity card are activities to do with my students. Green is for writing centers and activities. And of course, the red is for my phonics word study center activities. Again, these cards that are sampled all connect to that Unit 4 Text Set 2 instruction. You will also see a sample of our sound spelling cards, again, a reduced size, but with the routines and games and instruction right there on the back. A sample of our visual vocabulary cards from vocabulary that's pulled from that unique sampled text set with that routine-based instruction right there on the back. A sample of our high-frequency word cards, and again, just a list of all of the hands-on tools that are available with the Wonders curriculum. So I'm going to put these brochures and my assessment sampler back in the box. I've got my multi-language learner tools and that small group guide, the must-read Instructional Routine Handbook that really brings my lessons to life, and of course that all-in-one teacher edition there. Now let's explore the student side of our box. And the first thing you're going to see here is a key resource. Unlike any other, this is really a game changer. In grade 2, your reading writing companion is organized in units. So you would have one for each unit. But in grades 3, 4, and 5, you will see that my students' reading writing companion has 2 units. So this happens to be units 3 and 4. Now, the reading writing companion is an interactive, consumable student book. And it all begins with opportunities to anchor that instruction around an essential question and build background knowledge and oral vocabulary. And students can help fill out this word web, again, with a pencil in hand. They can set goals. There's always goal setting at the beginning of each text set to really take ownership of their learning. And then in 2nd through 5th grade, you will see your shared read. Your shared read is a piece of short, complex text where you're going to be really teaching and modeling through a clear, concise, close reading routine. It is red and green and blue. So you'll see these labels. Red is read, green is reread. Anytime we reread, we're focused on author's craft. We're building that knowledge for students and building those skills and strategies. And then the mini lessons that you would use, say, on day 2 to reread, to focus in on vocabulary or your strategies or your skills. What I love is that even the graphic organizers, where they're citing that text evidence, is right there, really unfolding through that explicit gradual release model. I do, we do, you do. And if we read about it, we talk about it, and we write about it. And that writing support is right here in their companion. You will find research and inquiry projects, and then we move from our shared read, which is teaching and modeling, more over to our authentic anchor text. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And we read that anchor text, and we're in that anchor text for days 3, 4, 5, and 6. And after we've read through it, we come back to our companion and we reread that anchor text with deeper author's craft level questions. Just 3 very targeted questions. Again, through an instructional based routine that's in my Instructional Routine Handbook, we're going to talk, cite, and write. And we always write about it. Paired selections are also included not only in my literature collection, but also right here in my companion. So again, I can read with a pencil, annotate the text. And of course, at the end of those 2 weeks, our 3rd phase of our close reading routine goes to blue, which is integrate. We make connections to science or social studies or fine arts, as well as culminating tasks. So if you like project-based learning, you'll see show your knowledge tasks. And then following that, remember, you'll also see green pages. This is for your writing and language arts. And this really gives you the detailed instruction and the springboard with mini lessons for each phase of the writing process. And then at the end of each unit, look for those red bordered pages, right? So these colors, the blue to green to red, match the colors of those tabs in your teacher's edition. And so this is connections. This is that spiral review, as well as when we're doing our assessment. So everything in my reading writing companion, I can read and annotate, read with a pencil, but I can also do it digitally as well. So full audio support and annotation opportunities. Now let's move over to that literature collection here. This is a hardbound collection of authentic trade literature, as well as those paired selections. It's just one book for the entire year. And not only do you have this rich, authentic anchor text that really is the center of my 2-week text set, but also this brochure that details that literature, as well as a collection of 24 classroom library trade books. So you'll see here grade 2, turn the page, you'll see grade 3, 4, and 5 that lists all 24 titles and the authors. And those can be used for literature circles, additional read alouds, a lot of different possibilities. But we also provide lesson plans and companion pages to those trade books digitally online. All right, going back into my box, I see this plastic sleeve, which has a collection of resources and information about leveled reading resources. First, this great brochure really outlines, gives you an overview of how Wonders approaches leveled text and differentiated reading. It's a little unique and different, so you might want to read that. Then you'll see some samples. Of course, I see my leveled books that go with Unit 4, Text Set 2, and there's some color coding on the back to make it really sort of easy to understand the levels of books. Orange is approaching, blue is on level, green is beyond, and purple is a unique EL level text. And the blue and the purple, on level and EL, are always the same title because this is a scaffold or sheltered version with EL support such as language detectives and labels that really help a language learner. Also though, if I fan out the books, besides the colors, every level text has our guided reading levels, has DRA benchmark levels, and Lexile levels on the back of each of these leveled readers. But we also gave you another sample set of our leveled text. You can think of these as sort of a micro text set within the larger text set. And it's when we have informational or nonfiction text. What do you notice here? You can tell that all 4 of these books are the same title, same content, differentiated 4 different ways. And that is really awesome because that allows equity of voice for collaboration. That is also equity of access to those science and social studies topics that are embedded throughout each of the text sets. Now, your leveled readers have lesson plans in your all-in-one Teacher's Edition. However, you will also see in this resource packet, and these may be shrink wrapped. So if you're not the first person, or if you are the first person, you may want to undo the shrink wrap. But these are our leveled reader lesson cards. So it gives you a second leveled reader lesson plan. Now, how are they different? These focus on what we call ACT, or Access Complex Text, the qualitative nature of the text. What are the things that might trip up a student, that might be difficult as they read this text? And we identify those specific things for you. And as you guide your students through the text, you're focusing on those qualities of the text. And when we flip it over to the back, if we read about it, we write about it, even with our small group differentiated readers. And another unique tool you'll see, because there's a paired read lesson plan. Every level text not only has the main read, but also has a paired read as well to make those text-to-text connections and build that knowledge. So you're going to see a range of grab-and-go leveled reader lesson cards, some samples there. If you want to see the full range of differentiated text and lessons that are provided for your grade level, I would encourage you to get that demo online access as well. All right, so let's take a look at the last thing I have here, which is my Wonders practice book. Now, this is a Blackline Master, so this is just a teacher tool, right? One for the teacher so that you can copy or print the practice that you want for your students. Or you can go completely paperless, and all of these live in a digital space that you could assign them out to the student. The student can do the work digitally and then, of course, submit it back to you. And what's really nice is that you can even send them online and the students can do them and it will grade it for you. So that's an extra bonus. But you will see the variety just by looking at the top. And this is the full year's practice. So you can see the practice that connects to your sample unit and week. But you're going to see grammar, phonics, spelling, handwriting, vocabulary, all the variety of independent or collaborative practice in there. And then lastly, just at the very back, you will see for your grade level, again, the scope and sequence here laid out in a separate document. Remember, the scope and sequence is also in the very back of your grade level teacher edition. So I'm going to put these student tools back here on the student side. So we have our practice book, we had our leveled reading resources, the authentic literature, right there with my literature collection, and of course, that main interactive consumable reading writing companion back into the box. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to explore many of the print components. Again, I would encourage you to go to this site to gain that digital access as well. Thank you so much for following along with me in this video as you learn a little bit more about Wonders 2023. Thank you so much and have a great day.